Now, I know it's the end of the year, and I know you probably are like, babe, like I'm ready to rest, but I'm going to give you 5 things you absolutely should do before the end of the year to set yourself up for success for 2025. Number one, an annual review of your spend. Do this inventory and then start with the next step, which is preparing your budget for next year. Set a savings target. And that savings target doesn't even have to be a savings target that you keep in your bank account. It can be things that go into your investment account. It could be for your retirement accounts. It could go into an HSA. Wherever the destination of those funds are to be, make sure you put together the plan on how you're going to end 2025 with that money in whatever account. If that means that you have to save $500 a month, make sure you can save $500 a month. And if you can't save $500 a month, how are you going to make sure that you make that money to be able to save that $500 a month? I hate to say it, a lot of people don't like to work. You'll make excuses why you don't have money, but you also don't want to do the work for it. I've worked 2 jobs. I've worked the 9 to 5 and also bartended. I have my own business and I work a 9 to 5. You have to be willing to do the work to have the wealth, to have the things that you want in life. That's just the way that it typically goes if things are financially driven in your life. And you have to be honest with yourself about that. Part of that honesty comes with having a budget. If that means that you also can't be going out every weekend for the next 52 weeks, you need to put a strategy around what you're doing. Maybe you start doing things to hang out with the people that you care about at home or at their homes. You start going outside. If you're in a city that has a lot of free events, you start doing those. You stop going to Starbucks 4 times a week. Whatever it might be, get tight on what your budget looks like and make sure it fits your habits. Nothing is worse than setting a budget that you know you can't keep up. Don't make it so rigid that you're not having fun, but make it practical enough that you can have the best of both worlds. You're in control of that. And while you're doing a budget for your finances, do a budget for your energy. Now, you're not going to know everything that's going to happen in the next year because there's naturally going to be things that pop up that you can never even plan for. But if you know that you need to carve out breaks for yourself throughout the year, like for me, one thing I learned this year, having my own business and also working a 9 to 5, there's no way that I cannot plan intentional breaks a quarter. I must start budgeting my energy better, which means that I need to lock down my calendar. So while I might not know all the details of what's to come this year, I am going to carve out how much time I have to give to things. This allows me to have a better sense of the things I want to say yes to and the things that I should say no to. An energy budget is so important. It's like time blocking for your day to day or your week to week. And because you're budgeting your energy, it's also time to take inventory of the people that you're surrounding yourself with. Now, if you know in your life you have somebody that you should have cut off a minute ago, now sounds like the perfect time to have that conversation. Because this is the thing, what are you going to do? Go into 2025 stressed out about this relationship? That sounds really crazy to me. 2023 and 2024 were pruning years for me. I don't have a lot of time to just be doing anything. And I want to be intentional about spending time with people that also energize me too and don't deplete me. So that required me to take an inventory of the relationships that I was in. And now I'm going into 2025 pretty certain that all the people that are in my life on a regular day to day are people that I know aren't going to drain me. They're also people that care about me just as much as I care about them. That reciprocity is one of the things that I require. And I'm not sitting here and questioning whether or not that's happening anymore. It feels great. And as you're taking inventory of the people around you, take inventory of the things that you're doing, especially in your occupation. If you hate your job and you know you want a new one, or you're afraid you're going to lose your job, it sounds like a really great time to start putting in place that strategy to get the heck out of that situation. Because what are you doing? You're staying in something you know that doesn't work for you. Or it's giving you absolute anxiety because you hate what you're doing. That sucks. Don't make adulting even harder than it needs to be. Now, I'm not saying that everybody can always have a job that they absolutely love, but you can work on not having a job that you abhor. So, what does your dream job look like? What lights you up? What are you passionate about? Or what is the stepping stone towards that thing that you want? Even if you're not certain what that end goal is. Once you have a little bit of clarity on that, start putting in place the action plan that gets you closer to that thing that you want. If that means having coffee chats with people, doing research, getting additional certifications, or simply just going after it, sounds like a really great time to start writing that plan out. You don't have to finish it, but you should absolutely start it. And since we're talking about plans, what are you doing for your health? You've been talking about how you want to eat better, how you want to sleep better, how you want to go to the gym more often. Sounds like a really great time to make sure you factor that into your schedule. And in fact, take it a step further. Start enacting that schedule tomorrow. 10 minutes of movement every day is quite accessible to most people. There's tons of simple, healthy breakfasts, lunches, and dinners. Like tomorrow, I'm gonna have yogurt, berries, and protein granola. That's my breakfast, and it starts my day off and it's just such a better pattern. For lunch, I'm gonna have grilled chicken and vegetables. And for dinner, I might have fish. See how simple it was to put together what that could look like? You can do that too. And then I know I'm gonna go to the gym for about 30 minutes to an hour. See how I hold space for it to go either way? It gives me the space to let my life. But you have to be intentional. If you're one of these people always complaining like, oh, I don't have the time, none of us do. Most of us just have to make the time. And we have to stop making excuses why we don't have it. And I'll leave you with this last one. It's starting. Starting is the hardest part in anything. Choose one of these things and start them tomorrow. If it's the daytime that you're seeing this, figure out when you're going to start it today. Start planning when you're going to start in this moment. You sat here and listened to this video this far. You got a bunch of tips on getting started. You could absolutely save it and you could absolutely get started right away. Like, think about it. What's holding you back? That's what I thought. Nothing, right? So you're going to get off this app and you're going to sit there, unless you want to listen to this back again, or you want to go deeper and you want to look for action plans. Maybe I'll post some of mine. But you're going to do something productive now, because 2025 is going to be your year just as much as it's going to be mine. But it starts with the choice and the preparation to make sure that that dream and that desire comes true. I'm telling you to start today, but now you got to tell yourself. I'm doing this week and I'm really nervous to do it because I know I have like a bunch of rando subscriptions. But imagine you cancel those stupid things that you're spending money on every month before you go into the new year and you start with a clean slate. You also get to see how you're spending money on food, travel, clothes, random things that you don't need from Amazon, whatever it might be. Do the inventory on what you're spending. Also, if you have a business, this is super essential because it's getting you prepped for tax season. There's something really important about knowing where your money is going rather than just spending it. It helps you make better strategic decisions and also lets you know where you might need extra cash.